In a valley where the wind carried the scent of wheat and wild jasmine, there lived a young man named Ion. The valley rested between silver mountains and a quiet river that shimmered like liquid glass under the sun. Every evening, the sky turned peach and gold, and the rooftops of the small village glowed warmly. It was a place where old men played chess under banyan trees and children raced dragonflies through the fields. Ion loved this valley more than anything. He was not a soldier. Not yet. He was a dreamer. He carved little wooden birds and painted them in soft blues and greens. He believed that if you carved something gently enough, it would carry a piece of your heart forever. His mother used to tell him, "Your hands were made to build, not to destroy." And he believed her. One spring morning, the wind felt different. It wasn't playful. It wasn't singing. It was warning. Rumors began to travel faster than swallows. People whispered about conflict rising beyond the mountains, about borders being tested, about villages burned in distant valleys. At night, the sky no longer felt peaceful. Even the moon seemed to watch silently. Ion noticed how the elders gathered more often, how conversations stopped when he walked by. And then one day, the announcement came. Young men were needed, not to conquer, not to invade, but to protect the valley that raised them, the river that fed them, the land that remembered their footsteps. There was someone else in the village. Her name was Layla. She painted the sky, not on canvas, but in her journals. She collected colors from flowers, crushed berries for dye, and pressed petals into paper. She believed every season had its own voice. Ion had known her since childhood. They had once promised, under the great banyan tree, that they would never let the world make them cruel. The night before he left, they sat beneath that same tree. Fireflies hovered between them like floating stars. "I don't want you to go," Layla whispered. "I don't want to leave," Ion replied. "Then why?" He looked at the fields, at the rooftops, at the mountains. Because love is not only holding hands. Sometimes it is standing between danger and the people you love. Her eyes filled with tears. "You always talk like the wind," she said softly. "Gentle but unstoppable." He smiled. "If I don't return, promise me something." She shook her head violently. "You will return." He touched her forehead gently. "If I don't, paint the sky brighter." The morning he left, the valley was silent. No one cried loudly, but everyone's eyes were wet. The soldiers were not grand heroes in shining armor. They were farmers, bakers, teachers, boys who once chased goats across fields. The road beyond the valley twisted through tall grass and rocky cliffs. The wind carried dust and uncertainty. Ion carried very little, a small wooden bird in his pocket and a scarf his mother had sewn. As they marched, he watched the landscape change. Fields became barren plains. Rivers narrowed into streams. The sky felt heavier. He realized something important. Courage is not loud. It is quiet. It walks even when the heart trembles. War was not like the stories. It was not dramatic music and heroic poses. It was waiting, cold nights, fear hidden behind steady faces. Ion wrote letters whenever he could. "Dear Layla, the mountains here look like sleeping giants. I think even they are tired of watching humans fight. I still carve birds when I find wood. The other soldiers laugh at me, but they keep them in their pockets." He described the sunset colors. He described the strange flowers growing between broken stones. He never described the explosions. He never described the screams. Because he wanted her world to stay soft.